The hotel just alerted me that a condom charge from the previous night had been posted to my bill. When I confronted my husband, Rex Dillon, he stared back at me with a look of utter bewilderment plastered across his face.
Sweetheart, this has got to be a system glitch, or someone keyed in the wrong membership number. I'll call and lodge a formal complaint first thing tomorrow.
Little does he know, the hotel's lead investor is my ride-or-die best friend.
Hey, can you pull up who Rex checked into the hotel with last night?
I'm gonna catch them red-handed.
The card was linked exclusively to my personal information, meaning no one else could use it. Yet the hotel had called, claiming I'd checked into the presidential suite the night before and used the condoms in the room. I asked 3 times to confirm, and the person on the line insisted it was Leela Ruth herself who checked in.
I couldn't swallow this humiliation.
What made it worse was that once, when I'd mentioned using the card,
What do you want me to say?
Rex had looked utterly annoyed and snapped.
Is our home not good enough for you? Why would you rather sleep elsewhere? I'm so sick of your ridiculous spending habits.
I didn't get it. Why was he so pissed off just because I wanted to use a free card? The angrier I grew, the faster I drove, heading straight for the hotel.
Hello, I'm Leela Ruth. You called me this morning. My anger simmering just beneath the surface. The receptionist looked up, her face clouding with confusion.
Mrs. Ruth? I thought you just went back to your room. You made it clear that no housekeeping service was needed a moment ago.
My face darkened instantly.
The reception went on. Just 10 minutes ago, Mrs. Ruth called and activated the Do Not Disturb service.
I was so furious that I trembled all over. That woman had the nerve to check in under my name. Gritting my teeth. But I am the real Leela Ruth.
The receptionist eyed me up and down impatiently.
Madam, if you don't have a reservation, please leave. We have many guests today. Please don't cause a scene here.
It hit me like a bolt of lightning. My husband had become someone else's husband? The irony was bitter enough to choke on. At that moment, the elevator dinged open. Tiffany Butler stepped out, clad in the latest Chanel suit of the season. The diamond necklace around her neck was the one I bought at auction for $1.8 million. As far as I knew, she was just my husband's newly graduated junior. The receptionist's face lit up as if she'd spotted a savior. She pointed straight at Tiffany and said to me,
This is the real Mrs. Ruth, the rightful one. I suggest you leave immediately and stop making trouble.
Tiffany's face blanched the second she saw me, but she recovered fast, forcing a sickly sweet smile.
What a coincidence. Are you staying here too?
I coldly shook off her outstretched hand.
Tiffany, don't you think you owe me an explanation? Why did you check in under my name? And why were the condoms you used charged to my account? Also, why are my shoes on your feet? And when did my husband become yours?
My voice cut through the lobby, and the previously noisy crowd fell dead silent. Every pair of eyes locked onto Tiffany. Tiffany glanced around nervously, then her eyes immediately welled with tears.
What are you talking about? My husband gave me this card because he felt bad about my frequent business trips, and he bought me these shoes as well. As for the condoms,
she feigned shyness and lowered her head.
What's wrong with me using them with my husband? Are you upset because your husband doesn't treat you well? Need my help to get you a psychiatrist? Look at her haggard face. Her husband must not want to touch her.
A card like that starts at $300,000. She doesn't seem like someone who could afford it. Are they seriously letting in just anybody at such a high-end place?
I was only wearing casual clothes today, hardly the shabby mess they made me out to be. I never realized you were so good with words.
Did you verify her identity when the co-called Mrs. Ruth checked in?
The receptionist hesitated, her face flushing. She said she didn't have her ID, but Mr. Dillon is a regular, so...
So you just broke the rules? Your hotel security is a joke.
She's just a receptionist. Why are you picking on her? People stay at hotels they can't afford. Don't make a scene here. Answer it. Put it on speaker. Let's hear how Rex is going to spin this.
As she tapped the speaker button, she burst into fake, heaving sobs.
Honey, Come to the hotel, quick! There's a crazy woman saying I'm not your wife and trying to kick me out.
She wailed dramatically, and Rex's furious voice exploded from the phone at once.
A crazy woman? Dare she bully you? Don't be scared. I'm on my way.
A crazy woman, so that was what I was to him now. The onlookers stared at me with open disdain, some even stepping forward to comfort Tiffany.
Don't take it to heart. She's insane.
Tiffany murmured her thanks, then turned to me with a look of feigned concern.
My husband will be here soon. He has a terrible temper. You better leave fast. Who knows what he might do to you? He just gave me that $300,000 VIP card, you know, shows how much he spoils me. If he gets here, who knows what he might do to you?
It sounded like a warning, but it was nothing but a slap in the face, a barefaced provocation. I trembled with rage. Every fiber of me screaming to tear off her hypocritical mask right then and there. Rex arrived faster than I'd expected and he burst through the hotel doors. The second his eyes landed on me, they turned cold and vicious. He roughly shoved me aside, then pulled Tiffany into a tight, protective embrace.
Don't be afraid, I'm here.
The way he gently stroked Tiffany's hair was so tender it hurt to watch. Pushed by him, I stumbled backward, my waist slamming hard into the sofa arm behind me. If not for the furniture, I would have crashed straight to the ground. Meanwhile, Tiffany stood on tiptoes, wrapped her arms around his neck, and the two locked in a long, wet, lingering kiss.
You're so good to me, honey.
Tiffany panted, her voice thick with coquetry.
You need to set this woman straight. She won't believe I'm your wife.
Only then did Rex turn his gaze to me. There was no flicker of guilt, only pure disgust. He released Tiffany and strode over, then slapped me hard across the face.
Tiffany, have you no shame? Just because I turned you down when you tried to hint for a permanent position, you've held a grudge ever since. Now you dared to bully my wife in public?
I clapped a hand to my cheek, which flared red, swollen, and burning hot. I stared at him in disbelief. The man before me was a stranger, terrifyingly unfamiliar. Before I'd come to the hotel, he'd feigned ignorance on the phone, using his usual gentle patience to tell me not to overthink. Yet, in the blink of an eye, he could twist the truth without batting an eye and even hurt me. He'd always had two faces, it turned out. Now that I thought back, the signs had been there all along. He'd only lit up at the latest gaming console I'd bought him, but dismissed my painstakingly developed scientific research as nothing but scrap. His so-called concern had always circled back to my bank card. Maybe he'd never loved me. Maybe he'd never even tried to understand the real me. A strange sense of calm rose from the depths of my chest, drowning out all the anger. I lowered my hand from my face and looked straight at him, my voice shockingly steady, even to myself.
Rex, repeat what you just said. Tell me, who am I, and who is she?
A flicker of panic crossed Rex's eyes, but it vanished as quickly as it came.
You really are crazy! Wasn't I clear enough? She is my lawfully wedded wife, Leela. And you're just some intern who failed to climb the ladder, Tiffany.
He raked his eyes over me, his voice cold and cruel.
Look at yourself. You're pushing 40, aren't you? How could I possibly marry someone like you? Don't embarrass yourself, okay?
Can't get a man herself, so she's jealous of others' happiness.
I told you she must be crazy. Didn't think she'd start having delusions too. That's really scary.
Poor couple. They're so unlucky to run into a nutjed like this.
I stayed quiet, just watching their little show. Rex was clearly dead set on protecting Tiffany, even if it meant grinding me into the dirt. But did he really think he could twist the truth with just a few lies? Slowly, I pulled my ID card and marriage certificate out of my bag.
These should be enough to prove who I am.
Rex and Tiffany's faces froze at once. Tiffany's eyes went wide with shock. Rex lunged forward, snatched the ID and marriage certificate out of my hand, and without even glancing at them, hurled them straight out the hotel's revolving glass door.
Will you just stop? Last time, you waved a fake ID at me to disgust me, and now this new trick? Forging an ID and a marriage certificate? Tiffany, have some shame. Do you think I won't call the cops and report you for harassment and forging official documents?
The onlookers' stares shifted from disdain to outright revulsion, and they echoed in unison.
Call the police! Do it now!
She's a fraud.
She should be arrested.
She's not welcome here. Kick her out, or we'll complain about the hotel.
Tiffany visibly relaxed at that. She snuggled back into Rex's arms and spoke to me in a tone that sounded concerned but oozed malice.
You've been so abused by your husband that you've lost your mind.
I can introduce you to a good psychiatrist. And a top divorce lawyer if you need.
She stressed the word divorce extra hard. After all, once I was gone, she could step right into the role of Mrs. Dylan. To ASA response, Rex kissed her forehead, then turned back to me, his eyes as cold as ice.
Get out of here now, or I'm calling the police immediately!
He snapped at the receptionist.
Never here. Ignudiliet. Call security to drive this crazy woman out. Who knows what else she might do? What if she hurts other guests?
She grabbed her walkie-talkie and called for security at once. 2 tall guards marched over, grabbed my arms from either side, and began dragging me roughly towards the exit. I struggled desperately, my elbows throbbing from the rough tugging. Amid the chaos, Tiffany had somehow slipped close to me. Seizing the split second when everyone's attention was elsewhere, she tripped me. Already off balance, I crashed hard to the marble floor. Oops, Tiffany gasped in feigned innocence.
I just wanted to help you up, and you deliberately fell to blame me?
Stand, only to collapse back down. Rex stood there, watching coldly, as if I were a total stranger. My heart turned to ice at that moment. Any last shred of hope for him was snuffed out. With trembling hands, I fumbled in my pocket for my phone, desperate to call 911. But the second I unlocked it, Rex lunged forward and snatched it away.
What are you trying to do? Call the police? He accused me falsely. Let me tell you, everyone here saw clearly that you fell on purpose. Don't even think about framing my wife and the hotel!
I have a bleeding disorder. Call an ambulance now!
I shouted through the pain, but Rex remained indifferent. Instead, hurling my phone forcefully across the lobby. Left alone, I endured the searing pain. Using my uninjured leg to prop myself up and crawl towards my phone, just then, a delicate high heel stomped down hard on my palm. Tiffany looked down at me condescendingly.
Sign a statement and admit everything today was your fault. Then I'll call an ambulance for you.
Otherwise, she paused for effect. She pressed down harder. The excruciating pain in my hand, mixed with the agony from my knee and ankle, nearly made me black out. I could barely speak, trembling violently from both pain and rage, my consciousness growing hazy. Just as I thought I would pass out, a series of rapid, sharp high-heel clicks echoed from the hotel entrance.
My best friend Vivien was striding in. Leela, I found out. Rex really did cheat. He's checked into this hotel more times than you have in the past few years. He even dared to use the exclusive membership card I gave you with that mistress.
Her voice, however, cut off abruptly, the moment she saw me kneeling on the ground in such a miserable state. The receptionist, who had been so arrogant just moments ago, now turned pale, her voice trembling as she timidly called out.
Dear Director Carter?
Affirmed Vivien's identity as the hotel's investor beyond any doubt.
What? So she wasn't lying after all?
The husband really brought his mistress to impersonate the real wife? Is this guy even human?
My God, he helped the lover bully his own wife and even hit her!
What a piece of trash!
This disgusting pair is truly repulsive!
Public opinion flipped on a dime. Anyone traveling with family or a partner instinctively recoiled at infidelity, and their words grew sharper by the second. Awkwardly, the security guards let go of me, not daring to lay a finger on me anymore. Vivien's face crumbled with pity as she tried to squat down and help me. But before her hand could touch me, Rex grabbed it. His face was plastered with a sympathetic, panico smile as he shook her hand roughly.
Miss Carter, I'm so sorry for causing trouble at your hotel. Don't worry, I'll take this troublemaker away right now. She just has a habit of acting crazy. Please don't mind her.
He even pretended to be chummy, leaning in like they were old friends.
By the way, Miss Carter, who's your friend here? We'll all look out for her when you're not around.
Tiffany chimed in fast, putting on a sickly sympathetic face.
Yeah, Mrs. Carter, your friend is really pitiful, running into a man like him. It's so sad that she's betrayed.
I froze for a beat, before realizing that these idiots still didn't believe the best rel Vivien was talking about was me.
What are you waiting for? The investor's here, and you still haven't dragged this crazy troublemaker out?
The guards exchanged nervous looks, glancing back and forth between Vivien and me. Unsure what to do, Vivien was absolutely livid. With a sudden, sharp motion, she wrenched her hand free from Rex's grip. Her voice was glacial.
Stay away from me.
But Rex held on stubbornly. He planted himself directly in front of Vivien, blocking her view of me, and continued his tirade without an ounce of shame.
Miss Carter, please don't be upset. This woman is clearly trying to extort money. Her injuries may look serious, but she's perfectly fine.
I said, stay away from me.
Someone clean this up immediately. It's an eyesore.
Are you deaf? I said stay away from me.
If anything happens to Leela, I will make sure you regret it.
With that, She shook both Rex and Tiffany aside and rushed to meet AT, the sight of the blood staining my skirt and my deathly pale complexion. Her voice wavered. Blood loss was clouding my vision. I clung to the last shreds of consciousness and gripped her wrist.
Call an ambulance.
Without hesitation, Vivien dialed emergency services. Around us, the whispers among the onlookers grew louder.
So, this guy hasn't even met his wife's best friend? Unbelievable. He brings his lover here to bully his wife, and now they targeted her friend, the hotel investor. Miss Carter, just teach them a lesson. They disgusting.
Rex was really embarrassed, but he still refused to accept what was unfolding before him. Tiffany tugged at his sleeve, unwilling to back down.
Rex, something's not right. If she really is Miss Carter's best friend, why don't any of the hotel staff recognize her? Miss Carter owns this place. It doesn't make any sense.
Sensing the cracks in Rex's confidence, Tiffany leaned in, pressing her point with growing boldness.
Besides, I went through Miss Carter's social media recently. There wasn't a single post or mention of anyone named Leela. Do you think Leela might have fooled Miss Carter somehow?
Rex's gaze darkened with renewed suspicion. Turning back to Vivien, he said with certainty.
Miss Carter, surely you've been misled. This woman knows exactly how to play the victim. She's mastered the art of manipulation. You have to see that. You have to No way she's your friend.
To reinforce his point, he gestured to Tiffany.
Miss Carter, this is Miss Tiffany Bertler. She's the heiress to Ruth Group, Mr. Ruth's daughter. I'm sure you've crossed paths before. She'll vouch that you've never met Leela.
His words landed like a slap. I blinked in disbelief. Even Vivien looked momentarily speechless, caught between disbelief and fear. The heiress to Ruth Group? I was the only daughter of the Ruth family. After choosing to pursue a career in science rather than take over the company, I'd fallen out with my father and stepped away from the public eye, keeping my identity.
Get the hell out of my office!
And yet, this imposter had the nerve to claim it.
Oh? The heiress to Ruth Group? Then why does she have the last name Butler?
It's due to a complicated family matter. But make no mistake, Tiffany truly is Ruth Group's heiress.
Vivien let out a cold, sharp snort. She immediately pulled out her phone, dialed my father's number, and tapped the speaker button for the entire lobby to hear.
Hello, Mr. Ruth? Hello, Mr. Ruth? I heard you suddenly have a daughter named Tiffany. Are you aware she's the mistress of Leela's husband? And they're bullying Nicolette together.
Vivien! What nonsense are you talking about? I only have one daughter, Leela.
Where did this Tiffany come from? Who's spreading laws about my girl? Where are you? I'm on my way.
The lobby fell into a deathly silence. Rex, who'd been oozing smugness moments earlier, froze mid-step. He whirled around abruptly, snatching Tiffany's arm as she tried to slink away unnoticed.
Tiffany, come on, call your father right now. What the hell is going on here?
I never said I was the heiress of Ruth Group. You just assumed it yourself.
Rex looked as if he'd been struck by lightning.
What? But when I pressed you about your background, you never denied it. You even hinted you could help me land that cooperation project with Ruth Group.
Mocking laughter erupted around them, cutting through the tense air. A cold chill seeped into my bones. Settling deep in my chest, it turned out that Rex had believed all this time that his shot at that crucial Ruth Group partnership came from Tiffany. He had no clue it was me, pulling strings and smoothing paths, who'd paved the way for every opportunity he'd gotten AT that moment. The wail of an ambulance grew louder, echoing closer to the hotel. Blood loss blurred my vision, and a violent shiver racked my body. As the paramedics lifted me onto the stretcher, I stared up at the hotel's opulent crystal chandelier, its light refracting into a dizzying haze. The whole scene felt like an absurd, cruel nightmare. Rex made a move as if to rush over, seemingly he had something to say, but Vivien stopped him sharply. The last thing I heard before darkness
Leela,
swallowed me was
don't be
Vivien's
afraid.
unyielding promise.
I'm here. This time, I'll make sure they pay for everything they did.
The hospital room reeked of sterile disinfectant, and 4 drip trickled slowly from the blood transfusion bag into my veins. I stared out the window at the gray, overcast sky, my heart feeling far colder than my body. Giving my love to a man like Rex had been the cruelest irony of my life. Vivien sat beside me, holding my uninjured hand gently, her voice soft with comfort.
He's not worth your tears, Leela. You deserve better.
I forced a faint smile, but before I could say anything, the ward door slammed open with a crash. Rex stood in the doorway, his face livid with rage. There was no trace of guilt in his eyes, only raw, bitter accusation. He strode to the bedside, jabbing a finger inches from my nose, his voice a snarl.
Leela, why didn't you tell me earlier your parents ran Ruth Group? If you had, How could I have offended both Ruth Group and Carter Group? Now look what you've done. I've been fired from the company, and everything I've worked for is ruined. Are you satisfied?
His shamelessness disgusted me.
I told you. More than once. You were just too impatient to listen, too busy dismissing my family affairs as trivial. Rex, you based by killing a loafer. You did this to yourself, you deserve it.
Stung by my words, he flew into a more hysterical rage.
Blame me? If you hadn't spent all your time in that lab, neglecting yourself and turning into someone who no longer fit your expectations, would I have strayed? You never cared if I was tired after work. Even with all these family resources, you never once lifted a finger to help me. You never cared if I was tired after work. Even with all these family resources, you never once lifted a finger to help me.
At that moment, Tiffany walked in.
Yeah, Leela. Two become one flesh in marriage. Rex's love for you faded a long time ago, but he still stayed with you out of duty. Yet you schemed against him like this. His layoff was your doing too, right? That's so mean.
Rex was such a fool. Immediately, he was emboldened by her few words, and his gaze towards me turned even more venomous. I looked at this dramatic pair with utter scorn.
I didn't help you. Why do you think your little company could manage to connect with Ruth Group? All on your own? Or was it through Tiffany's fake identity as the Ruth heiress? Rex, the resources you stole from me didn't just feed you. They inflated your greed and your audacity.
Rex's face paled, and he fell silent. I pressed on, my voice trembling with barely suppressed rage.
You claimed to stay with me out of duty. Then why did you cheat?
Why did you let others call me a lunatic and hit me, your legitimate wife?
Rex, you destroyed your bright future with your own hands. I'd already prepared the documents to promote you to vice president of the company. Now, you don't deserve it.
Tiffany shrieked in defense.
We didn't hit you. You fell on your own.
Yeah, right, Leela, don't be so dramatic.
I stared at him, a crushing sense of sadness washing over me.
I have a bleeding disorder and you're aware of it. A small cut while chopping vegetables can make me bleed uncontrollably, yet you never cared. I lost so much blood this time. And you call me delicate. Do you know what I'm most grateful for now? That we don't have children. Otherwise, how pitiful they would be.
I didn't mean it.
Whether intentional or not, it doesn't matter anymore.
Vivien spoke coldly, holding up her phone screen for us all to see.
I found something interesting. Rex, the luxury goods you've given Tiffany over the years far exceed your legitimate income. You stole many of the gifts Leisha's father and I gave her to please that woman. As for the money you spent...
I stared at the clear transfer records on the screen, stunned by Rex's audacity.
You dared to embezzle company funds?
I didn't.
My father stood there with a stern face, two uniformed police officers behind him.
Whether it's a false accusation, we'll find out soon.
His gaze swept over Rex and Tiffany, finally resting on me with a look of tender concern.
Officers, the evidence has been handed over. Go ahead and deal with them.
The facade of hypocrisy on his face collapsed instantly, replaced by sheer terror. He lunged at Tiffany, frantically trying to tear off the diamond necklace around her neck and the luxury watch on her wrist. His movements were so rough that he almost knocked her over.
Leela, believe me. I didn't know anything. I didn't do any of that?
Leave. What's not too long?
I do any of that? I only gave her these pieces of jewelry because I thought they were cheap replicas. They're yours. Here, I'm giving them back to you.
Rex, what are you doing? You're hurting me.
The bodyguard beside my father reacted instantly, stepping forward and hitting Rex's knee hard. With a sickening thud, Rex crumpled to the ground, letting out a sharp cry of pain.
Daring to bully my daughter.
My father's voice was like ice.
Do you take me as nothing?
He took a step forward, looking down at the cowering man on the floor, then took a folder from his assistant and threw it directly into Rex's face.
Embezzling company funds, falsifying accounts, siphoning project money to support your lover. Rex Dillon, you must have a death wish.
Papers scattered across the floor, revealing clear bank statements and account details that left Rex's face drained of all color. He looked up in panic, his gaze darting wildly to Tiffany, who was pale-faced beside him, and shouted,
Mr. Ruth, it's not my fault. It's all Tiffany. She told me to do it all. She claimed to be your daughter, saying that it didn't matter if we used the company's money. But understand I didn't, they gotta maver this money, Smonin. I were thoughted you, Anjali. No one would dare question it. She deceived me.
Her lips trembled, but no sound came out. A cold dread crept from the soles of my feet to the top of my head when I heard that. It dawned on me that this man, no matter who stood beside him, could be so utterly selfish, so quick to discard anyone without a second thought. The love he once claimed ran deep in his heart. It likely weighed less than the empty promises scribbled on paper. Rex was still scrambling to prove his loyalty. He even dropped to his knees and moved toward my father.
Dad, we're family. Please forgive me this once. I'll treat Leela well from now on, I swear.
His gaze suddenly fell on the blood transfusion bag beside my hand, and as if struck by a wonderful idea, he blurted out urgently.
Leela has lost too much blood. Then let Tiffany make up for it with her blood. She can give blood instead. She's young. She should be able to handle it.
I shuddered all over, a wave of nausea crashing over me. How could he suggest something like that so casually? It was as if Tiffany weren't a living, breathing person, but just an object to be tossed aside whenever he pleased.
We're not family.
My voice was cold, frayed with the exhaustion of having used up every last ounce of strength.
Rex, we're getting a divorce.
No, we can't!
He struggled to push himself up from the ground.
I won't agree, Leela. I know I messed up, I'm sorry. Just give me another chance.
It doesn't matter whether you agree or not.
I closed my eyes, no longer able to bear the sight of his repulsive face. It's not your call to make. Later, Rex and Tiffany were taken away by the police. During my stay in the hospital, my parents and Vivien took turns looking after me. They were careful around me and never once mentioning Rex's name. They tried everything to lift my spirits, terrified that the ordeal would leave a permanent mark on me. Then came the day I was discharged. My mother took my hand, her eyes glistening with unshed tears.
Leela, come home and live with us. Your father, he misses you terribly. What do you say we have a family reunion dinner?
Life had been easy for me since childhood because they got everything taken care of. Their only wish had always been for my safety and happiness. But as I got older, I became headstrong, devoting myself entirely to the world of scientific research. Sometimes, research could be dangerous. When they'd objected, I'd simply left home for 5 years, even refusing to invite them to my wedding out of sheer stubbornness. I'd known they were only afraid I'd get hurt, but I'd been too willful back then. They'd said that if I found someone reliable to marry, they'd let me continue my research without pressuring me to quit. Without a second thought, I'd married Rex, who'd seemed gentle and thoughtful at the time. But after we got married, my mother-in-law despised me for not having a child in 5 years, and Rex grew colder towards me with each passing year. I realized then that the only people who truly loved me unconditionally were my parents. I hadn't dared tell them what I'd been through, afraid to see the disappointment in their eyes and terrified they'd blame me for not following their advice. Rex owed his so-called triumph with the Ruth Group entirely to me. I was the one who persuaded Vivien to pull strings for him when he had nothing to offer. But that very act of mine had stoked Rex's ambition and, in the end, revealed what kind of person he truly was. Back in the early days of our marriage, he had indeed been kind to me, caring and attentive. But everything changed after Tiffany appeared. Although my parents had never approved of my involvement in scientific research, they still pulled me into a proud hug whenever I won an important award. Rex, by contrast, always found a way to downplay my achievements. This time, I couldn't bear to break my parents' hearts again. I squeezed my mother's hand in return, my voice thick with emotion.
Mom, I'm willing to go home.
When I arrived at the house I hadn't stepped foot in for 5 years, everything felt just as it had been. My father, once so imposing in the business mart, teared up the moment he saw me walked in. He stepped forward, pulled me into a tight embrace, his shoulders trembling slightly, and finally let his tears fall freely.
It's good you're back. I'm so glad.
With my parents in my arms, the grievances I'd bottled up for 5 years burst forth like a flood. They didn't mention Rex at all, not a word. They just gently patted my back, wordlessly telling me this place would always be my safe haven. Later, the verdict was finally delivered. Rex was sentenced to 7 years in prison for embezzlement and related charges, and Tiffany, as his accomplice, received a 5-year term. Most of the jewelry Rex had stolen and gifted to Tiffany was recovered. Before the sentencing, Rex sent a message through his lawyer, begging to see me one last time. I refused flatly. The very thought of laying eyes on him now made my stomach churn. I once asked my father how much of the embezzled funds could be recovered. He sighed and shook his head.
It can't be recovered. I share part of the blame. If I hadn't opened those doors for him, handed him control of the key projects for your sake, he never would have been able to siphon off the money so smoothly. He looked at me, his eyes gentle yet resolute. But it's okay. The foundation of Ruth Group won't be shaken by this amount. But I want you to know this. I'll support you continuing your scientific research. Feel free to do whatever you want, sweetie. I've got your back.
Later, I threw myself back into my scientific research, diving headfirst into a new project and leading my team with renewed focus. Vivien later told me that after the incident, the hotel had overhauled its entire security system and implemented stricter identity verification procedures. Around that time, my mother started showing up at my lab almost daily with homemade lunches. She knew how easily I lost track of time once I was immersed in research, so she appointed herself my personal alarm clock. Every day at mealtime, she appeared right on schedule, gently nudging me away from my microscope and reminding me to nourish myself. Later, I led my team in developing an automated intelligent medical device. Soon after it hit the market, it sent shockwaves through the industry, hailed as a groundbreaking innovation. Standing on stage at the product launch, I explained our achievements with confidence and calm, facing countless astonished and admiring glances. As soon as I finished my speech and stepped off the stage, a tall, elegant man with a refined demeanor stopped me. He wore a well-fitted dark suit, his bright eyes filled with undisguised admiration.
Dr. Ruth, your presentation was truly wonderful.
Handing me his business card.
I'm Darnell Pansy, head of Corey Medical. I was wondering if I might have the honor of getting to know you better?
I took his card and, meeting his clear, sincere gaze, nodded. Of course. From then on, we crossed classes at various industry events and academic conferences. He always took the initiative to talk to me, offering insightful opinions and showing great respect and passion for scientific research. Later, at a charity gala, he invited me to dance. In the ballroom, he was graceful and courteous, his step steady and his gaze warm. After the gala, he confessed to me, saying he admired my talent and felt sympathy for my past experiences, hoping to have the chance to take care of me. I didn't drown in the new romance and replied calmly,
Thank you for your kind offer, but it's too early to talk about this now.
He showed no sign of frustration or pressure, only quiet understanding. And though he kept his distance, his concern was constant, but we kept it that way for 2 years. In the sterile world of her lab, his quiet presence was a gentle androgen, a reminder that she was not alone. He would bring her tea when she was lost in her research, and tidy her desk when she was too focused to notice. My parents met him a few times and spoke highly of him, saying he had his eyes set on me, genuinely, not for status or gain. On a sunny afternoon, he formally asked me to date again, looking into his eyes, as sincere as ever. And thinking of his quiet vigilance over these 2 years, I smiled and nodded. Okay.